Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is the 18th Annual Academy Award Preview Show, and I'm your host, Larry Spegar. It is hard to believe that we have been doing the Oscar Academy Award Preview Show now for the past 18 years. Folks, I am so excited about that. It's awesome. We love movies, and that's one of the reasons we do it. A lot of you will recognize us from the Sports Express. Yes, we are fresh back from a great Super Bowl 59. It was an incredible game, especially, of course, for the Philadelphia Eagles, but a tremendous atmosphere in New Orleans. New Orleans is just a wonderful, wonderful host. And we had such a wonderful time in the Crescent City, right along the Mississippi River. If you've never been to New Orleans, aside from the excitement of Super Bowl 59, New Orleans was absolutely fantastic. It's a great host city. They actually tied Miami, Florida for 11 Super Bowls, 11 times hosting the Super Bowl. Yes, it was fantastic. In the background, obviously, you could actually see the programs from Super Bowl 59. And of course, right next to that is a statuette for the Academy Awards, which was given to us actually locally here in northeastern Pennsylvania for the best preview show of the Oscars. So we're very excited and certainly very proud of that. And I might point out another poster and program there too was from the Fiesta Bowl on New Year's Eve, Penn State and Boise State. We had a great trip out west. Our hearts go out to all of those affected by wildfires. And it's been very tragic what's happened in Southern California. It's just so nice that the Academy Awards and the program is able to go on this Sunday, March the 2nd of 2025 for the 97th Annual Academy Awards. But I have to say that I had one stopover in Beverly Hills the night before the Golden Globes. I was able to take in the setup for the Golden Globes. That was absolutely incredible there at the Beverly Hilton in Beverly Hills. But obviously had the opportunity to take in Monday Night Football in San Francisco, followed by the Fiesta Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona, and then on to Pasadena, California for the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl on New Year's Day, followed up by some great float viewing. The floats, obviously the beautiful Rose Parade floats, and a Lakers basketball game, coupled up with some time in Hollywood, driving along Hollywood and seeing the Dolby Theater, obviously from the outside, but just a fantastic and a dramatic atmosphere. And I said, before you know it, within 2 months, it'll be Oscar Sunday and the Academy Awards. So, and here we are. Here we are. Can you believe 18 years we have been doing an Academy Award preview show? And what transpires here today is we will take the 6 major categories: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor and Actress, and Best Supporting Actor and Actress. And we will talk about them and highlight a few of the performances and then make predictions. I am so proud to say that our track record for predictions has been very good. I believe that the worst prediction year we ever had in our 17 years, this will be our 18th year, was 4 out of 6. We have made at least 4 out of 6. And that was just, I think, once or twice we were 4 out of 6. But a number of times we were 5 out of 6. But I have to say, we have been perfect a number of times, including, we're on a roll. The last 3 years, we've had all of the major categories correct. And we do want to give a shout out to the other categories as well: the cinematography, the film editing, the sound, the music. We certainly, costume, makeup, that's all part of the movie. It's all part of the process. The writing, best screenplay, original and adapted. It's all part of it. You know, we can't make a movie unless we have a screenplay and something to work with. We certainly focus a lot of attention on the acting, but we all know that there's a script. It needs to be written, and obviously the movie needs to be directed. But there's a lot of work that goes into the filming aspect of it. And we know that there are a lot of people that are working on a movie set to bring that motion picture to life. Obviously, the film and video, if you will, the camera work is important, but audio and sound is very much an integral part and so much an important part of any movie. The making of a film is obviously just incredible, and we are so excited. We are so excited for the 18th year. Just to go out on a limb, if you remember now, in 2008 is the first year we did that. Again, 2008, right? 18 years ago, we did our first show. And I'm going to see, let's test some of our memories here. 2008, Best Picture. I remember talking about it and predicting it would win. It was a big day for Mumbai, India, right? Slumdog Millionaire. Slumdog Millionaire. It made some stars out of a few young actors. Dev Patel, of course, was one of them, and a number of others. 2009, The Hurt Locker. Catherine Bigelow, one of the first female directors to win the award. 2010, The King's Speech, right, with Colin Firth. And then moving forward, I think 2011, The Artist. 2012, Ben Affleck directing Argo. He actually started it as well. In 2013, 12 Years a Slave. Some other movies coming to mind. Birdman or Spotlight 2014 or Birdman was right in that time period as well. Moonlight, The Big Shocker in 2016. Shape of Water in 2017. The Green Room in 2018. Boy, we're on a roll, and it just continues and continues. Oh my goodness. Just incredible, right? Just absolutely, absolutely incredible. The memories that go on. So thank you very much for your support. We hear some great things as well. And what we try to do here on this program, what we try to do is alert you to some of the movies and then obviously some of the performances, and then try to give you a little bit of excitement about what to do. A lot of times, do we see every movie? No. Do we see quite a few of them? Yes. And I believe just with the availability, obviously with our great movie cinemas and certainly now with streaming as well, it's certainly a little bit easier to be able to watch movies. But certainly we love our movies as much as we love our sports. Music, entertainment, theater has always been a big part of it, and we certainly love it. So we look forward to the Academy Awards, and here we go. And in a few years, too, we'll be coming up on 100 years, right? We'll be coming up on 100 years of the Academy Awards celebrations. And again, as I mentioned earlier here on the program, driving through Los Angeles into the Hollywood area, Hollywood Boulevard. We were on Sunset Boulevard for a while. Again, driving down the roadway. We actually saw at the Pantages Theater on Hollywood Boulevard, we saw Wicked, a performance of Wicked in January when we were there on the Friday night. We had an opportunity to see the Friday night performance of Wicked. It was a local group too from the Hollywood area, the Los Angeles, California, Southern California area. They did an outstanding job. They really did. It's not the first time. I've seen a number of shows. One comes to mind. I was there at a conference, and we had a break on a Saturday afternoon, and I ran over to the Pantages Theater to see a wonderful performance of Cabaret, and it was absolutely outstanding. As we go back, that's probably a good 7 or 8 years ago, but absolutely fantastic. Great memories. So what do you say we jump into this year, the 97th Annual Academy Awards from Hollywood, California. So here we go. Let's talk Best Picture. That's always an interesting one. And I'm going to say right off the bat right now, and I think Hollywood is going to echo this, right now we have no front runner, and I think that the Best Picture is totally wide open. The nominees this year for those plays are Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. So for those of you, normally it would have been five. Years ago, it was usually four or five movies for Best Picture. But over the last number of years, that category has expanded to give more films a little more attention and a little more notoriety, even to be nominated for Best Picture. So it was expanded up to 10. So I think what we found over the last number of years is that you have a full program. You actually have a full list of 10 nominees. Let's start. They're all listed alphabetically. Anora actually traces, from what we know of the movies, Anora actually traces the life and some of the difficulties and drama and emotions that go through an adult dancer who obviously has a certain lifestyle, but she obviously has a number of things that go on with her life. She has some family issues and obviously some relationship issues in that too. And it really, from what we've seen, it really takes you on an inside look in terms of her life and really some very, very vivid details of what her life can be, and obviously the people also involved in her life and how that actually has a relationship to her. But obviously very well done. Very well. The director is nominated for Best Director as well. We'll get to that in a few moments as well. But Anora is a nomination. The Brutalist, starring Adrian Brody, really takes place post-World War II, and he's trying to pick up the pieces of his life and trying to make things on the go post World War II. Done very well. And Adrian Brody, from what I did not know, but a number of years ago when he won for Piano, he was actually the youngest winner of Best Actor. I did not know that until this award season. So he does own that record. We'll talk about that a little bit more into the acting category, but that's The Brutalist. A Complete Unknown, Timothée Chalamet. And I will say right now, Timothée Chalamet also nominated for Best Actor. If he were to win, and he's got a great shot, if he were to win, he would become the youngest winner of an Academy Award in the Best Actor category, and he would actually surpass and break that record of Adrian Brody, since Timothée Chalamet is obviously so much younger. But Complete Unknown, a wonderful movie all about the life of Bob Dylan. Timothée Chalamet playing the great Bob Dylan. Monica Barbaro nominated for Best Actress in that role too, in the movie The Complete Unknown. Conclave. Conclave, obviously the story in the Vatican of the passing of the Pope, and a new Pope is to be voted on. And it's a very, very interesting movie with a lot of drama and very well acted. Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow, and so many others are in that movie. Very, very well done. Obviously nominated for Best Picture. Dune Part 2, if those of you very familiar with Dune, of course, yes, Dune Part 2. Amelia Perez is the foreign film that generated a lot of attention. It's a very interesting story about a man who's involved with a drug cartel, wants to change his sex and become a woman, and also to try to avoid his identity and to escape from a number of some really rough characters that are actually looking for him in the drug world, in the underworld. So very, very interesting movie. Subtitles, obviously, in French. It's actually a musical as well, which I did not realize until I saw it. I did see this as well as a number of others of the movies. I didn't see all, but I did see, I think it's 7 out of the 10. But yeah, very, very interesting. A musical about a lot of the drug cartels and really there's a lot going on there, and really had a lot of attention early on in the award season. There's been somewhat of a backlash because of the lead actress who has made some statements along the way. We don't really want to get caught up in all of that, but it has been a part of the award season, and I believe that because of some of the content of what was said and some of the backlash of that, I believe at the current time she's actually boycotting now the lead actress from the movie, and we will be talking about that in just a little bit. That's Carla Sofia Gascon, who is nominated for Best Actress as well for Emilia Perez. But obviously, it'll be interesting. Well, interesting to see how she does in Best Actress, and then also very interesting to see how the movie fares well. Some think it's a very, very strong contender for Best Picture. Done very well, very innovative, very creative. So let's see. It actually had the most nominations at 13, and I did want to say that. It had 13 nominations. Wicked, for example, has 10 nominations. There are others that have a number of nominations, but Emilia Perez was the leader with 13 nominations. So very interesting there. I'm Still Here is nominated as well. The Nickel Boys is another nominee for Best Picture. The Substance, starring Demi Moore, we'll talk about that in a little bit, is also nominated. And Wicked, of course, Wicked, based upon the musical, which has been playing on Broadway now over 20 years. In 2023, it was the 20th anniversary. So now I believe Wicked is in its 22nd year on Broadway. So the great Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, in fact, they'll be opening, from what I understand. We're just a little over 24 hours away from the Oscars, and it is going to be very exciting. I think technically right about now, we're 48 hours exactly. May I say that? Yes, right? 48 hours away. Friday evening, it'll be Sunday evening. We're 48 hours away from the Oscars. So yes, the two, Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, are going to do an opening number from what we understand, and that should be very, very awesome. But Wicked, obviously 10 nominations based on the musical. Just an incredible movie. Prediction time. I'm a big fan of musicals. A lot of you know that. Broadway, obviously, I'm a big fan. I thought what was done with Wicked was absolutely incredible. I don't understand why the director of Wicked is not nominated for Best Director. That I don't know. And I don't understand that. I thought it was well done, well put together, and certainly well directed. Just incredible. But Wicked, I think Wicked is definitely one of the leading contenders. It has not won any of the awards, though, in some of the others. The Golden Globes or the SAG Awards. It has not won. But I think, just knowing what I know and having seen some of the other films too, again, I would love to see Wicked as a winner, but I do have to admit that there is a very strong chance that a winner will come, and it may not be Wicked. It might be because of the musical aspect of it. It could very well be that some, perhaps because it's a musical, may not feel that it's the movie. You know, they want to see a movie with whether it's comedy or drama, or some type of a genre, whether it's a horror film, a mystery film, adventure film, romance, comedy, drama, suspense. They may be looking for that and feel that, you know, that's generally what a movie is. And if you go back into history, not many musicals, right? Not many musicals have been nominated for Best Picture, but be certain that other ones have won. And I'm going to go back, obviously, some time ago too, but let's go back to West Side Story, right? West Side Story was an Academy Award winner, and obviously it was a wonderful film, and certainly did very, very well on Broadway too. So let's see what happens with Wicked. But I honestly have to say, only because of the award season and how things have been going, I'm not certain. I would be thrilled if Wicked were to win, but I have to say that just based upon what I've seen and what I know, I'm going to go out on a limb here And I'm going to say that the winner of this category, if not Wicked, I have a strong feeling that the winner of this category is going to be Conclave. I will have to say, I think Conclave is just so well done. It's very well written. It's a great story about obviously the process of picking the next pope in Rome, in the Vatican. And Ray Fiennes actually plays the leader who's there, who plays a very instrumental part in selecting the pope. He has to deal with so many of the other cardinals and the other clergy throughout that the system there at the Vatican. Very, very interesting. Stanley Tucci does a great job. John Lithgow has a great role in that movie. I just feel that is the movie that very well could walk away with the Oscar. Surprise, surprise on the outside. I just think Anora is clever. It's interesting. I think it's very well acted and very well directed. It's an interesting story. I think many people will like that movie. And from what I understand, it does have a strong following. Look for Anora as a possible sleeper as well. I really do. Outside of Wicked, I think Conclave, followed by Anora, have obviously a real chance at winning. One other outside one I do want to say, and it had the most nominations, is Emilia Perez. I do think that there is that possibility that people look at it and the Academy very, very much looking at it and looking at the substance, and it's a musical, it's creative, it's very well acted, it's a very interesting story. There's a lot going on there, and Emilia Perez has that potential to potentially pull it off. So let's see what's going to happen. But if we all whittle everything down, if I had to pick in my mind who I thought was going to win, I'd have to go with Conclave to win the Oscar for Best Picture. Best Director. Let's look at the directors. Jacques Audiard, the Frenchman, obviously, who was responsible for Emilia Perez. Sean Baker with the Nora. Brady Corbett with The Brutalist. Coralie Farge with The Substance. And James Mangold for a Complete Unknown. So when we put all of those together, I think it's going to be a tough contest between the first two names that I read. The Frenchman, Mr. Audiard, with the wonderful work with Emilia Perez. But I do think Sean Baker with the Nora, again, that interesting story, right, about the adult dancer and what she goes through in her life and all those different relationships. Very, very interesting, and I think it's very well done. I'll tell you, Jacques Audiard, or I think I'm actually leaning towards Sean Baker with the Nora to actually win the Oscar there. So I think that would be a very interesting, and that would be my pick. Let's get into the Best Acting category, as we talked about. I'm going to say this one's really tough. I'm going to just indicate the names at first. Adrian Brody for The Brutalist. Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. Coleman Domingo in Sing Sing. Ray Fiennes in Conclave. And Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice. Boy, I'll tell you, add Ray Fiennes to the mix too from Conclave. And boy, I'll tell you, you've got a really, really interesting category. But I think it's a horse race, if you will. Down to the wire. I think it's Adrian Brody or Timothy Chalamet. I really do. Ray Fiennes, oh, interesting. But see, that's where I feel, and I'll indicate it this way. If Conclave were to win Best Picture, I think that's the win for Conclave. So that's why, in a way, I don't think it's going to be Ray Fiennes. I think Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, and that would be a big win for that great movie all about Bob Dylan and a celebration of Bob Dylan in his career. I do think that. I do think it is going to be Timothy Chalamet. I think he makes history as being the youngest winner of all, and I think he's picking up momentum, he's picking up steam, and I think he will. The other side of it too, though, is Adrian Brody could very well win it for The Brutalist, and I think that very well could be the win for The Brutalist. So I think it's going to be very interesting. But if we go out on a limb, we're going to go Timothée Chalamet in a really close race over Adrian Brody and Ray Fiennes. Let's go to leading actress, if you will. I mentioned Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown. She plays opposite Timothée Chalamet. And by the way, she was wonderful in Top Gun Maverick, if you remember. She was one of the female fighter pilots. In fact, if not the only female fighter pilot, she was one of those selected by Tom Cruise to be one of his personal, on his mission. He picked a few of them. Glenn Powell, if you remember, and he's done very well for himself. The movie Twister and a number of others. He was in the movie with Sydney Sweeney that was filmed out in Australia. But Glenn Powell's done so well. He was in the movie. But again, Monica Barbaro, you might remember her from Top Gun Maverick. She was fantastic. And again, she's wonderful and well-deserved. She has a nomination here for Best Actress in A Complete Unknown. The others, Ariana Grande, obviously, or excuse me, that is the supporting role. But actress in the leading role, as we were going to mention. But since we were starting with supporting role, Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones in The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave. A very interesting role too, and she goes toe to toe with some of the others like Ray Fiennes and Stanley Tucci and John Lithgow. She plays one of the sisters right there involved in the process as well. Very, very interesting role for her. And Zoe Saldana in Amelia Perez. She plays the lawyer. And I was really impressed with her performance too, with the singing and the dancing. I did not expect that from Zoe Saldana. Obviously, a lot of you remember from Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy. But yes, she does a phenomenal job. She has a huge role. It's the supporting role, but she has a big part in that. She's very, very good with that. And I'm going to just conclude with that category. It's a very good category, and a lot of great actresses in there. But I'm going to go with Zoe Saldana, and I'm going to add too that may be the win for Amelia Perez. That may be where Amelia Perez gets the recognition and an Academy Award. Maybe not Best Picture, maybe not Lead Actress, and perhaps maybe not Best Director, but it may win right here in Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana. Let's stay with the ladies and go to the actress in a leading role. I started to mention that before, but when I mentioned Monica Barbaro, she's in the supporting role. Let's go to the leading role. Cynthia Erivo for Wicked obviously plays the wonderful Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West. In my opinion, the not so wicked. I think she's just really nice, really sweet, and she tries to do so many great things and a great voice. Much like Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo is just wonderful. What she did in makeup, to the point where being in makeup for 4 hours a day, and naturally the filming of that took many days. So just incredible what Cynthia Erivo did to get through that performance and give it her all. We mentioned Carla Sofia Gascon in Amelia Perez, the French actress. Mikey Madison is really coming on. She's in Anora. She obviously has the lead character. She plays the adult dancer. Some of you may remember her from Scream. One of the remakes, a recent remake within the last few years, either 2021 or 2022. It was part of the Scream series, some of the more recent ones. But she was wonderful. I won't give away everything, but she was wonderful in that too. And she's really coming on strong now. Very talented performer. Demi Moore in The Substance. We all know Demi Moore. She's been around for a long time. And this is a really interesting, strong performance about her life and lifestyle, and what she goes through. Just a very, very powerful performance from her. And the last is Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. Fernanda, excuse me. So very, very interesting category. And I'll tell you, you put them all together, just really so powerful. Again, Cynthia Erivo, so wonderful in the musicals. Carla Sofia Gascon playing the lead character, the man who transforms to a woman to escape the brutal life of a drug cartel. Just fascinating. And it's set in a musical performance with dancing. It's wow. It's just incredible. Mikey Madison, again, what a wonderful performance in Anora, and she's the lead character. But folks, I am going to go with Demi Moore because I do feel that her performance was just wow. It was top notch, incredible, and I do think that she's been around for quite some time, and I believe that she will be recognized, if you will. I just think it's her time. I don't believe she's ever won before. She may have been nominated before, but I think this will be her night. I think this is a crowning achievement and a big-time award for Demi Moore. So I would look for her to hoist the Oscar on Sunday. Getting back to the men now for supporting actor for men. Now, in this one, I do have some pretty strong thoughts. We have Yura Borisov in Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton in A Complete Unknown. Nice to see Ed Norton again, too. Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice. For this one, I think this one's pretty easy. I've seen some of the performances, but the one I did enjoy, and I did see it, obviously tremendously enjoyed. I enjoyed some of the others as well, but I really, really enjoyed Kieran Culkin. I do have to admit, he's very entertaining, he's very talented, and he really gets his point across in so many ways. It's a beautiful story. Jesse Eisenberg is in that as well. But it's a good story of two cousins who just recently lost their grandmother, so they go back to their native roots and ancestral roots in Poland, and the scenery in that too is just incredible. You see so many sights of Warsaw, Poland, and other sections of Poland, and it's very, very, very interesting. And I thought one of the more emotional and sad, but very emotionally and strong scenes where they actually walked through as part of a tour in the history of Poland is they actually walked through one of the concentration camps, including a few of the gas chambers, and just the expression on those two and the other people that were part of the group too was just very strong, just a very, very emotional gripping part of that story. But done very well, very humorous too. Kieran Culkin, so talented, and I strongly believe that he will be the winner there. So there you have it. Folks. We talked about the six major categories: Best Actor, Best Actress, Best Supporting Actor and Actress, and certainly Best Director and Best Picture. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. It always is. So thank you. I wanted to take the time and thank everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. These are great. We love our sports. We have such a great time all season long. We had just wrapped up a tremendous football season following the Super Bowl. Now, obviously, college basketball is going to be coming up now, the NBA. We're starting to follow some NHL hockey. We have wrestling, high school wrestling, college wrestling is going to be coming up for national championships too in mid-March. The Final Four is going to be starting up in early April. March Madness, the tournament, men's, women's, it's going to be exciting. Baseball is going to be starting up, that's for sure. But for today, it's all about the movies. It's all about the movies. And again, we salute those, the writers, the directors, the actors, the actresses, and everybody responsible for making a movie. It takes a village, right? It takes the whole crew, everybody working together. And that's one of the things I say it probably every year, but I mean it. And I know that how true it is. I've been on film sets that, just being able to see how a movie comes together, to see how that script, the actors, the actresses, the directors breathe life into these scripts, and they bring them onto the screen so that we can watch them and we can enjoy them. I love movies. Sometimes I wish I could really sit and watch movies all day long. I could probably watch, if I really wanted to, I could probably sit and watch. As long as I had my food and beverage with me, I could literally watch movies 24 hours a day, at least for one day straight. They're just awesome. I just love the performances, the emotions, and I love so many different genres as well, whether it's comedy or musicals or dramas or suspense or mystery, horror, scary movies, definitely. But then certainly other genres as well that are very spiritual, if you will, and the thinkers and the emotional ones and romantic comedies. We love them all. Action adventure. They're just incredible. Love them all. And it's great to see every year. It's interesting to see the best of the best. And that's what the Academy Awards are. They're saluting the very best and achievements in motion pictures. So thank you again for joining me. I'm Larry Spegar. For the 18th year, we are bringing you the Academy Award preview show filmed here in northeastern Pennsylvania. So for all of you out there on the West Coast, and for all of you watching in the Midwest, in the South, and beyond, obviously worldwide, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. Please reach out to us. Email communication. You can reach me at Larry Spegar, Spegar, at Comcast, COMCAST.net. Larry Spegar at Comcast.net. That is my email address. You can certainly email me. Let me know how you liked or perhaps not liked, but hopefully you've enjoyed this. Again, it is just so wonderful to do that. And by the way, too, we had to stay with the scarf because the last few years we've been filming. Actually, we did one or two outdoors at our local movie theaters. It was just such a great thing, and so many people commented on it that we had to stay with that. So we had to stay with the colors and the scarf. So there you have it, and bringing some color into your life. So enjoy the 97th Annual Academy Awards live from Hollywood. That'll be coming up this Sunday on March 2nd. We'll see how our predictions did. Like I said, the last 3 years now, we've been perfect. So hopefully with those predictions we made tonight, we'll be perfect. But more importantly, hopefully you'll enjoy the Academy Awards and that you will have the opportunity to get out, even following the Academy Award show, and see all these wonderful movies that have been nominated and other movies perhaps that were not nominated, but other great movies that you'll be looking forward to see, and even more movies coming out this year, 2025. So again, for our 18th Annual Academy Award preview show, I'm Larry Spegar. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great week and enjoy the Oscars.